Jewish is not cool.
That can't be true. Dude, I asked 5 different people. They said all Jewish boys have circumcisions.
You don't just chop off somebody.
Dude, South Park just went full-on internet chaos. Like Cartman-level crazy. One minute it's memes, the next it's respect my authoritah everywhere. Grab some cheesy poofs, cause this is about to get hella dumb. Awesome.
I told you not to call my mom a bitch, Cartman. Well...
Have you ever noticed how Cartman looks like a beanbag full of anger and half-digested cheesy poofs? Yeah. Well, this time that beanbag isn't yelling at Kyle or blaming the Jews. He's mad at the radio. And not just any radio, NPR. So picture this. Cartman wakes up, ready to hear calm voices talk about politics, books, and why kale is secretly poison. And boom, NPR is gone. Just like Kenny. Canceled. Flatlined. His mom, Leanne, breaks it to him like she's reading a cereal box. Sweetie, the president canceled NPR. And Cartman's head? Instant microwave explosion. He storms to the boys, arms flapping like a penguin overdosing on Red Bull, screaming, "Dude, if they can cancel NPR, what's next? Terrence and Philip?" It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum about taxes. Here's the kicker. Cartman, the least sensitive human cartoon ever made, starts complaining that people are less woke now. Imagine Cartman crying about wokeness. That's like Butters teaching a masterclass in evil. Totally backwards, totally South Park. And then, out of nowhere, Cartman says, everybody rips on the juice and it's totally fine. Bro, what juice? Orange? Grape? Did he just lose a sponsorship deal with Capri Sun? The kid clearly needs therapy, or at least a Capri Sun. The whole episode feels like South Park trolling the internet on purpose. Self-aware jokes, political jabs, Cartman-level meltdowns. It's a recipe for disaster. You can almost hear Trey and Matt giggling in the background thinking, let's see Twitter burn over this one. So yeah, South Park didn't just cancel NPR in their world. They managed to roast politics, cancel culture, juice, and even Cartman's sanity, all in under 5 minutes. That's talent.
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to frame you for raping Butters.
Do you think Italian Americans and women are less important?
Oh, God.
You dare to use...
That's talent. 2 minutes into the new season, and Kyle is already done with Cartman. Like not the usual, ugh, Eric sigh. No, this is full. Why am I still friends with this demon child? Energy. Meanwhile, PC principal calls for a mandatory assembly. Normally, kids would groan at the thought of more boring speeches. But Cartman? He's hyped like it's Christmas morning. Why? Because he thinks PC principal is finally gonna bring back political correctness. Yeah, that's Cartman's idea of fun. And then PC principal hits everyone with the big news. The only way to restore order in these corrupted times is... Jesus Christ. Wait, what? Did PC principal just rebrand as a preacher? Yep. In fact, he changes his name to Power Christian Principal. This is the same guy who once freaked out over people saying fireman instead of firefighter. And now he's preaching Jesus at a school assembly. South Park logic at its finest. Of course, our old pal Jesus actually shows up. And what does he do? Drop some random scripture like he's freestyling Bible karaoke. The kids just stare at him like he's reading IKEA instructions. Zero impact, max confusion. Then Stan casually drops at the dinner table. Oh yeah, Jesus came to school today. His dad, Randy, legendary chaos gremlin, replies with, I don't think Jesus is allowed in schools. I need to talk to someone about this. And who does Randy turn to? The government? The school board? Nope, ChatGPT. Because apparently Randy Marsh needs AI to tell him how to feel about his kid meeting Jesus. This part is gold, because it explains how people use AI for literally everything. Instead of asking his wife, who is sitting right next to him, Randy's like, better ask the robot if I should be mad. It's the perfect jab at modern tech obsession. People outsourcing common sense to A. I like it's a magic 8-ball. South Park nails it again. Jesus at school, PC principal turned preacher, and Randy asking ChatGPT for parenting advice. Pure chaos, pure comedy. If South Park made an episode about your life, what embarrassing thing would they totally roast you for?
Rips on the Jews and it's totally fine, huh, Kyle?
Term that excludes women from an occupation?
Totally right to be concerned. It's good you're looking at...
Timmy rolls up like he's about to announce the apocalypse, and suddenly Kenny's hyped, yelling about the greatest battle of our young, hot lives. And what is this battle? Not dragons? Not aliens? Nope. It's Xbox One versus PlayStation 4. Winter is coming, and so are the consoles. The kids split into teams like it's straight out of Game of Thrones. Cartman wants control. Kyle's stressing about morality, and Kenny, well, he's muffled but still swinging. The schoolyard becomes a medieval battlefield where the weapons are memes, insults, and controller stats. It's the console wars. If you grew up in middle school during the PS3 versus Xbox 360 days, you know how real this was. Kids would fight to the death, or at least to detention, over which system was better. People were yelling about exclusives, Blu-ray versus HD DVD, Xbox Live versus PSN. It was chaos, and South Park captured it perfectly. And then there's always that spoiled kid who says, "Oh, I had all three." Bro, shut up! The rest of us had to pick a side and defend it like our family honor depended on it. That one friend flexing all three consoles was basically the Joffrey Baratheon of gaming. South Park takes that dumb energy and cranks it up to epic. The kids march through the snow like warriors, alliances form and crumble, and Cartman plots like a discount Tyrion Lannister. It's ridiculous, but also spot on, because deep down, gamers never stopped fighting this war. Today, it's PS5 versus Xbox Series X, but the spirit is the same. The console wars will never die.
Hot lives. Winter is coming, and the next-gen gaming devices are hitting
On one system.
That's right.
If some of us are on PS4s, but the rest of...
The very next day, Cartman goes into full panic mode, like screaming, sweating, probably needing a juice box to calm down. Why? Because if PC Principle has changed into Power Christian Principle, then that means one thing in Cartman's head. Woke is officially dead, and Cartman is freaking out because the rules are gone. Suddenly, everyone's tossing out gay slurs like it's the 90s. Nobody cares about political correctness. And apparently, according to Cartman, everyone hates the Jews again. Which is hilarious, because this is the same kid who literally once tried to reform the Nazi party. Now suddenly, he's clutching his pearls like, "Oh no, guys, this is terrible." The irony is thicker than Cartman's double chin. But here's the thing. If you understand Cartman's narcissism, you can probably guess why he's so concerned. Cartman doesn't actually care about morality. He only cares about how the world's chaos affects him. If woke is dead, then his usual tricks, crying victim and manipulating PC rules, don't work anymore. And for Cartman, that's scarier than broccoli on pizza. Meanwhile, the adults of South Park are losing it too. The whole town is mad at the current president. And here's the twist. It's not just the liberals. Even Republicans, the same folks who voted for this guy, are fuming. It's like watching someone yell at their own reflection in the mirror. Pure chaos. So what do? Do they hold a peaceful town meeting? Nope. Do they write angry letters? Of course not. This is South Park. The adults decide to riot their way to the president. Full mob energy. Torches, signs, and probably a few Randy Marsh beers along the way. Basically, within 2 episodes, South Park has buried wokeness, made Cartman panic about slurs, and started a political riot. And you just know it's about to get even dumber. The crowd is marching, screaming, and waving signs when suddenly someone yells, "What the hell do you think you're doing, Garrison?" And here's the twist. Mr. Garrison isn't the president anymore. Yep, the Trump wig is gone. The fake tan has faded, and we're finally back to regular chaotic Garrison. Honestly, huge sigh of relief. Like, you can almost hear fans across the world unclenching at the same time. Don't get me wrong, Garrison as Trump was funny for about 2 episodes. But then reality hit. Trump actually won in 2016, and suddenly Trey and Matt were stuck with 4 years of Mr. Garrison as Trump material. It wasn't their plan, and it ended up dragging one of the funniest characters in South Park through political mud. Maybe that's a hot take, but Garrison's Trump era was like giving Randy Marsh a job as a tax accountant. It just didn't fit. Garrison works best when he's being himself. Wild, unfiltered, yelling about ridiculous things, or teaching kids in ways that would get any real teacher arrested. That's peak Garrison. So yeah, seeing him out of the White House feels like a reset button. A chance to bring back the old Garrison we loved. The one who goes from "I'm a woman now" to "screw you guys, I'm going home" in the span of 5 minutes. But this raises the big question. If Garrison isn't president, then who is sitting in the White House now? South Park wouldn't just leave that chair empty. You know it's going to be someone insane. Someone who will probably make the entire town lose their minds. And with Cartman already panicking about wokeness being dead, Randy asking ChatGPT about Jesus, and the adults rioting like it's Black Friday at Walmart, you just know the answer is going to be stupidly funny. South Park never misses a chance to take a jab at whoever's in power. Smash that subscribe button, or Randy Marsh will show up in your backyard yelling about soil samples. No refunds.
Right to be concerned. It's good you're looking out for your son's education.
Oh, take a rest.
After a 2-year hiatus, South Park came back swinging harder than Cartman at a buffet. And not just with a regular episode, this one was hands down one of the most controversial and, honestly, funniest in years. Trey Parker and Matt Stone proved they haven't lost their touch. In fact, it's like they sharpened their knives during the break and came back ready to offend literally everyone. And offend they did. The jokes went after politicians, religion, wokeness, and even AI. Nothing was safe. The internet? It exploded like Kenny in episode 1. Hashtags were trending, think pieces were dropping faster than Randy Marsh beers, and every side of the political spectrum was yelling at the same time. It even got so wild that Trump himself was told about the episode. Yep, the former president caught wind of South Park's latest chaos. The White House actually released a statement saying, "The show hasn't been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention." Now that's hilarious for 2 reasons. First, if a show is irrelevant, why is the White House even commenting on it? Second, South Park just signed a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount. $1.5 billion. That's not irrelevant money. That's buy 3 islands and still have change money. On top of that, the show has had a massive resurgence in viewership. TikTok clips, YouTube edits, and memes have brought South Park back into the spotlight in a big way. So instead of proving the show irrelevant, the White House statement basically poured gasoline on the fire. Fans were laughing, critics were debating, and trolls were memeing. Within hours, Twitter, Reddit, and even Facebook account groups were arguing about whether South Park had gone too far again. Yikes. The dad starts talking like he's in a horror movie. Last year, we lost our youngest, her head got stepped on and crushed. So this year, we'll find a young girl and step on her head in her memory. Whoa. That line is so over the top, it lands somewhere between shock and dark joke. South Park loves this kind of wild, ugly humor because it points a spotlight at how dumb and angry people can get. The point here? Black Friday turns folks into monsters. The show makes it look like a holiday where the rules fall off and people do anything for a deal. Cartoons shout, crowds shove, and moms fight in the aisles like it's a sports final. Calling it the Purge is the perfect joke, a day when normal rules take a holiday and chaos goes shopping. It means, but that's the gag. The joke is on the people who act like cavemen for a TV. Then someone says, "Thank God for the internet. Now we just press a button and don't have to break an arm." That nails the modern fix. Click, buy, done. No more elbow fights in the cold. No broken bones. No crushed heads. Just a quiet cart and a tracking number. It's both relief and a burn. People used to boast about how tough Black Friday made them. Now kids don't even need to get their shoes muddy. They have everything sent to the door. Kids these days are so spoiled. The old man grumbles, and the show lets us laugh and cringe at that line at once. South Park pushes this idea. Grown-ups romanticize pain and chaos, then get mad when the world changes. They miss the old madness and act like it was noble. The show flips that idea and makes it ridiculous. It shows greedy moms, angry dads, and folks who think trampling each other is tradition. But then it shows the easy truth. The internet changed the rules. Now you press a button and the madness looks stupid. So yeah, the scene is ugly and funny at the same time. It's satire, a loud, mean mirror held up to holiday madness.
Here has joined us. All hail the princess! The princess!
Donald Trump once again found himself in the middle of a strange media fight, this time with 60 Minutes, the CBS program owned by Paramount. Trump sued, claiming an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris was deceptively edited. His main complaint was that the transcript wasn't released quickly enough, which he argued amounted to election tampering. The reality is that 60 Minutes has always edited interviews, and legal experts agreed Trump didn't really have a strong case. Paramount could have fought the lawsuit in court and likely won. But timing mattered. Paramount was in the middle of an $8 billion merger with Skydance, and Trump's case was slowing everything down. The FCC was already reviewing the deal, and the ongoing lawsuit risked blocking it entirely. Instead of letting the problem drag out, Paramount chose the easy way forward: pay Trump to step aside. They handed him $16 million, essentially pocket change compared to the billions at stake. By doing so, they cleared the path for the merger to move forward smoothly. Late-night host Stephen Colbert joked about it on his show, calling the payout a big fat bribe. And in a way, that's exactly how it looked. Just another bizarre moment where politics, media, and big money collided. Anyway, that's the story. Now go check the next post before a raccoon breaks into your fridge and steals your cheese.